Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Tyler Jamison of Port Huron Northern Boys Basketball, or might as well just say 2023, the 2022-2023 Mr. Basketball. How does it feel to have that next to your name? First off, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And it's a great feeling. It's the best honor in the state of Michigan for basketball, and I'm just truly honored that the coaches picked me as the winner.
So, how did you find out that you won?
So, I wasn't. So my dad was talking. Mr. Norgrove called my dad, and then my dad told me. So they were at my little brother's AAU practice, and I was at home, and so my dad called me and told me I won, and then we kind of jumped around and went crazy. And then once they got home, we all celebrated.
Yeah. What it's like, were you like, I know that you were in it, but were you like, surprised? Because the thing is, it's like, I never expected I was going to win or something like that.
I thought I had a good shot, honestly, but you never know how that stuff's going to go. Like, that's the thing. Probably all five guys thought they were going to win. So it is what it is. But I thought I had a good shot, but I wasn't like necessarily like I wasn't 100% like, oh, I'm easily going to win. I thought if I did win, it'd be super close, and I could have seen it going either way.
Yeah. What was it like? What was the ceremony like and all that? Getting to go to the finals and all that, and getting the big trophy and getting interviewed by tons of people and all that stuff. What was that all like?
It was sweet. It was a lot of fun. It was a cool experience. And the finals was cool because I got to sit like basically the front row at the finals and watch the game. It was a really good game, and obviously go on the court. And there was the ceremony at the Free Press building with all the reporters and the photo shoot and the little mini speech I gave. So yeah, it's just a really cool experience.
Also I know that the college that you, but before we get into that, let's how did you think this season went for you?
I thought it went pretty well. I think obviously, other than missing a few games, having mono, I thought it went pretty well. And then obviously would have liked it to last a little longer. We had a lot of issues within the team as far as injuries and stuff goes. Not to make excuse for anything, but yeah, it was a blast and positively.
Yeah. Um, what's the biggest thing that you're going to take away from this season? Like, what was best moment from this year?
Probably just, I don't know. I think the best part was just how much fun everyone was having. Whether it be the players and the fans were really into it. We had huge crowds every game. There's just kind of a buzz around PHN basketball in our area. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing for me, was just how much everyone was into it, and it made it more fun. It made it, everyone cared a little more this year, I think. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that I'll remember about this year.
Yeah. Also, what was it like just, play? Not everyone gets to play with their brother. And obviously, we've covered the family affair that it is with you guys, with your dad and your grandparents. But overall, what was it like just playing with him out on the court?
It was great. I think we complement each other's games well, and we just kind of have that chemistry that a lot of players don't have with their teammates, And so I think we both definitely made each other better, and we had fun, and it was just a blast. And I wish I didn't only have to play 1 year with them. I wish I had an opportunity to play more. But yeah, I definitely am gonna miss playing with him and miss playing with the rest of our team too. Because as a team this year, we were just really in tune with each other, and we were great.
Well, you were also tennis partners too. Remember that?
Yes,
You never know
going
when
doubles.
well, yeah, and you never know when you never know when you could play together in college too.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what a week it's so let's the week that you won Mr. Basketball, the college that you went to, the college that you're committed to, and obviously there's a lot to unpack with that as well. Of course, Fairleigh Dickinson got their first at their first tournament win. And what was that like for you guys, and to know that it was there? And there's actually more to the story too.
That was insane. I remember watching them in the playing game, and I was like, we're playing pretty well right now. Like we could give Purdue a run for their money, and I thought we matched up well with Purdue because we heat up the guards a lot, and we kind of get up in pressure, and they're very young, but also Zach Edey's like 8 inches taller than the tallest player that in our rotation, so that might have been a problem. But and then going into the game, like at first we were close. I was like, okay, we're hanging in there. Then halftime, but then I didn't fully like think we were gonna win until there was like a minute left, and I was like, we might actually win this. Like I was expecting Purdue to come storming back, and we just held them off, and it was super cool. I was watching at my uncle's house with all my family, and we were all jumping around, going crazy. It was super cool.
Yeah. What like I said, there was more to the story. And then you celebrate that, get the big win, and then obviously with with the when the coaching carousel goes around, and when you get a big tournament win, and then all of a sudden Tobin leaves for Ionia when Rick Pitino took the job at St. John's. And obviously that, whenever a head coach leaves, and obviously it leads the question, are you going to stay? Obviously, I know that you guys have thought about it and stuff, and obviously the answer, of course, is now yes. You're still going to be with Fairleigh. What was that process like to just kind of decide?
Yeah. Once I found out that Coach Tobin was leaving and Coach Jack got the job, we kind of I kind of sat down with my family, and we thought about it and kind of weighed the pros and cons of leaving or staying. And for about 2 weeks, I was kind of in limbo with what was going on. But ultimately, I decided that it was the best situation for me. Go to a coach that wants me, go to a coach that believes in me, as opposed to sticking around and waiting for something else to potentially come up. Because I think that I still think the FDU is a great opportunity for me. I think that I can come in and make an impact. So that was something that really swayed me in staying.
And of course, the current head coach of Fairleigh was a big part in selling you to come there.
Yeah, a lot of my recruiting visit was spent with him because he was the top assistant under Tobin. So I already had that relationship with him. I already talked to him a decent amount, and I really like him. I think he's a really good coach, and he knows his stuff, and he's also a really great dude. So that was another thing that played into my decision.
So kind of take me through what was like, now that that's been decided. Now what's next in trying to what's it gonna be like for the next few months? Because I think in only a few months you're gonna be heading up there.
Yeah, I head out July 3rd, so it's pretty soon. But I'm just kind of enjoying the rest of my senior year. I'm running track right now, and then working out a bunch, getting a lot of shots up, things like that. While all the other classes are playing AAU, the seniors kind of have this time of just not relaxing, but they have the time to kind of do their own thing. So that's what I've been doing, is just kind of getting to the gym, lifting, running track, and getting ready to head out there in a couple months.
All right. So what are your events in track there, Tyler?
So I always high jump. High jump's like my main thing, which I'm solid at. Then I run a few events, like I run sometimes to mix it up, but I run the 200. Sometimes I usually run the 4x2. Sometimes I run the 400 or 4x4. But yeah, mostly my favorite event's high jump.
Yeah. What's how are you doing in track season so far? How's that been going?
It's been all right. Track in Michigan's brutal right now because it's so cold all the time. It's always so
Not been
windy and
good this
rainy.
year.
What'd you say?
Weather has not been good this year.
I know it feels like every year, like all 3 years I've run track because couldn't run my freshman year, and it because of COVID. It's like you keep thinking like you'll have like a warm 3 days, and you're like, okay, it's time. It's all out of the way now, and then it's gonna be 40 and rainy for 4 days in a row, and it's like, oh. But that's just how it is. You got to overcome it.
So that's what it's been like. I mean, obviously, at time of recording, much of the country this weekend has faced a ton of rain, and obviously, I think a lot of people got lucky yesterday. With everything that happened, I know the Northeast is getting pounded with rain today. So,
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean, well, the good news is I think it's going to warm up later this week, and of course, this is the last day of April. So May, of course, starts tomorrow at time of recording. So yeah,
yeah. Hoping that this will be the last kind of cold spell.
yeah. I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but what does basketball mean to you, Tyler?
Basketball kind of just, I don't know, it's just kind of my life in the sense of that's kind of always what I've done is play basketball, and that's always kind of at the forefront of my mind. And so it's super important to me, and also my family. A lot of my family is basketball players, basketball coaches. So yeah, this is kind of like most of what we talk about is basketball. I've got a basketball hoop in my kitchen, a mini Tykes basketball hoop. Like when I'm just sitting there just talking, I'll shoot around on the hoop, like stuff like that. It's just kind of a huge part of my life, and yeah, it means a ton to me.
Yeah. What are you going to mostly miss about high school basketball and in this program? I know you're going to be around it because obviously your brother still has 3 more years left. Your dad is obviously there, and obviously your grandparents are still a big part of the program.
I'm gonna miss I'm gonna miss growing up with all the players, and I mean obviously my family, but high school. The beautiful thing about high school is like the players on your team are the players you grew up playing with. You've known them since forever. A lot of the players live in my neighborhood. Like my freshman year, I think there was 5 players on the team who lived in my neighborhood. There's stuff like that who you grow up with, and so you have those relationships with. And so that's something that obviously in college I'm not going to have. But I know that I'll make new friends in college and just be fine with them. But it's just something I'm going to miss.
All right. Well, Tyler, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck. Best of luck at FDU, and we'll definitely have you on sometime later this year, or maybe later in your career.
Yeah, thank you for having me.